Welcome back, everyone. I'm Kevin McCormick, and today I'm going to do a special deep dive into one of my under-the-radar AI stocks, Coherent. If you follow me on X, you know I've been tweeting about this stock for over a year, but here recently last week, I did a tweet specifically about the technical setup that I really like that we have before we head into earnings in about 3 weeks. But before we jump into the technical setup, I want to hit a little bit on the fundamental setup that is very strong in Coherent as well. If you want to get a deep dive look into their Q4 earnings results, I have that on the channel as well. I'll keep a link up above for you to view that. But here's the highlights from their earnings that just occurred on November 6th. And the important piece here is 68% year-over-year growth in the communications sector. This is driven entirely by data transceivers for AI data centers. Every AI accelerated data center needs data transceivers for their connections amongst the GPU clusters. It's a big overlook in the marketplace. Everyone's talking about NVIDIA. There's a lot of components that go into these data centers, and this is really what is driving Coherent's accelerated growth in this area. There are also 2 great blog posts on their website if you want to learn more about their position in this market. This one is oddly enough almost exactly a year old, talking about how this is going to drive more transceiver sales almost a year ago, which happened exactly. And then this one as well, more about how they're using it. But here's the important piece for you. Coherent's data transceivers work with all of the protocols and everything that's going into the AI data center, and they're a leader in this industry. Nobody wants to go buy a new NVIDIA Blackwell GPU and then use and run slow data transceivers on it. They want to use the best and fastest connections out there, and Coherent provides those. So if you want more details on the fundamentals, check out what Coherent has on their website and take a look at our earnings podcast that we did in November. Let's jump back to the chart now. Today I'm going to be talking about the DeMark indicators and some of the setups that I see currently. You can see this is from a past year. The combo and sequential 13s have caught what we call buying exhaustion points very well. And after these have occurred, we typically had a period of consolidation and maybe a small drawdown. If we zoom in a little bit more here, we can see that here recently, these have been working very well. And I wanted to highlight this pattern we see here. These blue lines are the last 2 earnings dates. You'll see here back in August, we had a run up into earnings, a decline beforehand, and then a run up after, and then a pullback. Here recently, November 6th, we had a huge earnings announcement. The stock popped all the way up to an all-time highs of 110, and then started to consolidate and pull back. I ignored this 13 back then because it was around the earnings release, but it still ended up being correct about consolidation and buying exhaustion. But then the next 2 13s hit basically exactly at the top of Coherent's current uptrend that we have been in. So what has me so excited right now is we hit these 13s, we've had the consolidation back, we're back into this area of support that was called out back at the beginning of October. So we're talking about a support level that we've held for over 3 months. On Friday, we crossed just below it, but that's not a big deal. And then here as well, we have an additional level of support using the absolute retracement tool from DeMark indicators that says, hey, this is where we expect there to be resistance on a pullback and a great buying opportunity. In addition to that, we can see here that during this decline, we've had increasing volume that's actually more buying than selling volume. And then here on Friday as well, we had the propulsion indicator hit and say that we could have some nice upside projections from here. If you follow the stochastic, you can see here that this stock has worked very well with crossovers on both the buy and the sell side. And I think we are set up right now with a great opportunity where this pattern is repeating right now in Coherent. We have this sell-off after earnings. We get a pop, pullback, consolidation, and then we start to rise into earnings again. I'm filming this right now on the 12th of January. Earnings for Coherent is expected to come out the first week of February. So we're in that perfect period again where this stock is declining, probably with the market and some other things going on right now. but it's setting up for us to have a wonderful buying opportunity. We're getting the opportunity right now as a long-term investor to buy Coherent at a price lower than the earnings that were reported in November that everyone agrees blew it out of the water and caused a huge pop in the stock. This is a gift, in my opinion, as a long-term investor to get into Coherent now. It's also a great trading opportunity for short-term, mid-term trading opportunity in the stock to start building a position now to catch what I expect to be a big pop after they report earnings at the beginning of February. So with that said, this is following up on what we said on Twitter earlier this year, or earlier this week. And just as we saw before in earnings, I expect us to consolidate here. Maybe with CPI coming out Wednesday, we'll finally get the market moving back up again. But Coherent should be back at new highs up here at, I agree, at these levels, 120-ish in the next month. So if you're interested in finding an under-the-radar AI stock, Coherent is one of my favorite, and I think it's a great option to be adding to your portfolio for long-term and short-term to get the nice earnings pop that I think we have coming. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned until next time.